Welcome back to Rough Restos for what I'm pretty sure now is episode 27. I'm really dragging this out, aren't I? Of the Capri M113 build. So, last episode we sort of finished up with welding the outer skin of the manifold to the inner skin, so we no longer had a leak. Sealed the sump off, and 2K high build primed after bar coating the engine bay. So as you can see, I'm currently more in a paint tyre as opposed to engine worker tyre, so let's crack on with that. So for what feels like the 15th million time, I've rubbed down the engine bay this morning. I've then put a coat of primer sealer on it, and I think we're now ready again for base coat. It's not perfect, but I can't be arsed anymore, to be honest. I just need it to be coloured. So after the million issues this has given us, yeah, we're gonna send it. So back onto our base coat again. Now I'm probably gonna do similar to what I've done last time, where I start off by trying to do all the complicated areas, just because I reckon that will take it takes longer. Definitely takes longer, but it might take away some of the stress, if that makes sense. Just trying to get the areas done first, so I can then focus on the outer areas. I think so anyway. We'll give it a go. We'll see. So I need to mix up some base coat again now. So for those of you that might be new to this, yeah, again, the bay had minimal prep. Mostly we were just sort of welding up, fixing a bit of rot, and welding up holes I cut in it previously, which have all gone fairly well. Sort of short of the radiator forward, I really haven't done much. Hence why you can see it's not that good, because it's all being hidden. And yeah, in the future will be when we put new wings on, new front valance, and do the whole car properly. I'll fix anything I'm not happy with then, but for now I just need it to be sort of presentable. So that's where we got to for now, and say the majority of it fairly is. Mate, you wouldn't really be able to tell that I've had to weld on a whole new plate up there by the strut is, that there's big holes I filled in. And actually the things that are still visible are previous repairs by other people, which I'm not bothered to fix. So what have we got? We're going for the Ford Tangerine Scream. Some of you know, not an easy colour to spray. Certainly not a beginner's colour. So we've got the layer number 1, and because obviously we'd already tried this before, I've got some more here in case we haven't got enough. But this time we're going into it a lot more prepared, where we've actually got a bay which is pretty much one colour, and it's white. So I'm hoping we get no coverage issues, but I won't know until we try it. So we'll be mixing this beautiful orange base coat colour 1-to-1 with 2K thinners. I do like the colour. It is a nice colour. I've got to find out which steering stick's what again now. Oh, well, just send it. Yeah, certainly is a nice basic colour there. I've still got a fair bit in there, but just in case, I should have another litre. I don't. They sent me the wrong one, so I've got another half a litre. But I reckon, providing we have no more big mess ups, that should not be an issue. So I'll mix that 1-to-1 a minute. I'll get the bay once again. I've just degreased it actually, so we just need to tack rack it off, and then we'll start doing all the complicated areas, which I'm not looking forward to. So I believe we now have coverage. So the whole bay is now orange. No idea what orange. But annoyingly, what I have noticed is over here I had a slight issue after I used the primer. Whatever the last one done was, not the surface. I always forget the name of it. Trying to get the gun in up and around here, I got a bit too close and had a bit heavy there and there, so I had to sand them down. but it does look like I didn't quite get the 400 scratches out in a couple areas. So there's a few 400 scratches, but oh well, that will go nicely with the dust and dirt and the other dings and bits and bobs. So, but it's now orange. We have successfully now run out of that first batch of the base. So these won't be needed, which is good. So now, about another 20 minutes of flashing off really there, to be safe, 1 or 15 minutes. And then we're on to this. So this is weaker again. This has all the pearls and the metallics in it. So when I come to spray this one, really, I think less is more to an extent, because it's fine spraying the base, which is a solid colour. If that builds up in areas, obviously it covers more there, eventually you get full coverage. But with the metallics, if they build up in an area, the metallics will settle and sink as opposed to stand up, and that will be really obvious because then the light will be reflecting off it really oddly. So it's going to be mostly light coats. I have no idea how many coats that will need, not a clue. It's a very sort of slightly translucent yellowy goldy colour, so I'm gonna estimate 3 coats. I guess really the amount of coats I put on will then give me a certain finish, but I don't know what finish I want. So we've had 4 coats of orange. I don't think we need that many coats of that, so basically I'll just keep putting coats down until I'm happy with how it looks, but very sparingly to an extent, so the metallics and pearls don't sag or droop anywhere. So I'm going to have to be careful, which means I won't be spending too much time trying to get them into places like in the ARB mounts or in behind the nuts and bolts, because they're no use there whatsoever. But by doing that I risk putting it too heavy elsewhere, and that will then be worse than not having them in these certain areas. So in the hard to reach areas I won't be going too keen. It will be a case of it is what it is, and focus on the areas that can be seen, which is where the light will be reflecting from, and that's where it matters. So yeah, I'm going to let it flash off, and then we'll start spraying them coats, and we'll see where we get to. It is a shame the bay isn't perfect, and it wasn't prepped to a standard that would complement this paint, but it's never the intention, and to make the bay perfect enough for that, it needs to be done when the whole car is restored, which obviously isn't yet. So I'm going to just, like everything on this car, it's designed to be done slightly better at a later date when I go for perfection, but for now I'm just trialling sealing. So like the M113, that's a complete trial. There's going to be still tweaks that need doing to that, parts changing. This paint is a trial. I've never used this stuff before, or this particular one, so we're doing this bit of trial, see how it goes, and then by the time we get to doing the whole car properly, everything should be ironed out and we should know exactly what we want, where we want, what it is, and how to do it. I'm hoping. But so far I'm quite liking this colour, so we'll see how it looks when we put that on it, and we'll go from there. I'm kind of really excited. I say kind of, I am really excited. But so far, no disasters. So this is the first time we've been painting this car, well, other than that part where I had a bit of heavy primer, but that's here nor there. That's just a quick bit of user error on the gun. But so far, so good. I'm happy. Does look like I could have got a bit more paint in where these hinges are, but to be fair, they also, when the hinges are up, which is obviously whenever you'll be seeing it, the hinges are down, you can't see in the bonnet because the hinges are down. So the hinges are up, everywhere else around it has got enough coverage. Yeah, she'd be right. I'm beyond caring now. I just want it to look okay-ish and have a running driving Mercedes in it. Yes, let's go for it. So we're now the next day. We've had 4 coats of orange base down, and then I put 4 coats of the metallic and pearls on there. As expected, obviously around here on the thingy is laid interestingly, so it's going to be a funny looking colour. Did have a couple issues. Right there, I had a few bits of like black rubbish go into the paint. No idea where they come from. Didn't seem to be in the gun, but I had it appear in a few areas from just like black specks. So I picked them out. To be fair, there you can barely tell. I put a dab of orange paint back on it because it went back to the primer. There it's really obvious, which is annoying. And then continued to spray over with the pearls metallics, but So yeah, didn't have the time to sort of hold in, crack in, continue on with it, so that's where we are. But majority of it actually looks pretty good, so we'll go with that. It's not perfect, it's never meant to be perfect. So what's next? Well, booth's been preheated. I just need to wet the floor in a minute and dust off everything, tack rag off the paint. Clear coat, we are going for the U-Pole Maximum. Never used this before. I can't imagine it's any real different to the standard System 20 stuff. They're the same price basically. They both state the exact same stuff, so we'll do that. I'd usually use a slow hardener, but we're going to go for the fast, not the extra fast, just because it's not a whole car, it's an engine bay, and although I've got heater on and such, I think fast is going to be the right kind of hardener for this job. The only thing I'm going to have to again, is it's been years since I've properly clear coated with this gun. So I'm going to have to try and set it up, and as I'm going along, work my way through it. And because this is what this gun's for. This gun and the 1.3 nozzle and the fluid tip, and the GTI 110 Transtech air cap is a clear coat air cap and needle setup. So it's designed to smash on really well, providing you're in all the right conditions. So you've got the right temperature, the right materials, using the gun properly, and using it with some kind of skills. Obviously, I haven't got any of them, but I'll try my best, and I know this gun can do a fantastic job when it's working spot on, so we'll see how it's going to do. So, I'm going to get sorted out, get ready to go, and then we'll start spraying, and we'll see what happens. Please say this is the final bit of sorting this engine bay out, and we can move on to much better things. And there we have it, painted. So on all the easy parts like this over here, really like glass. Nice few bits of dust in it. Oh well. Not sure if I think it looks more gold on the camera, but it is more orange. But so I had my gun set at 2 turns out for the first coat, and I thought I'd go to 3 turns for the second coat. Slightly too keen. Had a bit of whoopsie on both these sides, where I went just a bit too heavy in the corners. Whoops. So I've got to sort it out, so then I turned it back to 2.5 turns, and 2.5 turns was about perfect. So at least for what condition I'm spraying in. So that was 2.5 turns. So at the top here, I decided not to smash it too hard. I'm not sure you guys can tell. I settled with slightly more orange peel finish rather than runs. So yeah, got a few runs to sand out, but nothing too crazy. Okay, engine bay painted, handsome. And obviously in the last few episodes we've achieved got the engine. So what's left? Well, manifolds are welded up. A sump pan is hopefully sealed. So surely it leaves this wire in the throttle body. Now we are currently like 7 o'clock the Friday night before this video comes out, so you'll see it in the morning. So I was going to get a little bit done so it can come out, so the video might not be as long as usual. So what do we need to do? Well, we know the wiring works, so we just need to make it look pretty, really. How are we going to do that? Loom tape. So I use a Tesla loom tape. I've currently got it under the heat gun because it's freezing cold again, and they have failed to send me another heater so far after a week, which is rather annoying, so we're in the cold. So I was heating up the loom tape, and then we can start wrapping this up with a genuine Tesla tape. I wouldn't bother using the cheap stuff, it's not worth it. So I'm going to crack with that at the moment, get it done. I've got a coffee, got some biscuits, got some wiring to do. That's me happy. And there we have it. One wiring loom. Loom taped up. All the way back around to where we want it. Didn't bother doing the coils because there isn't much point, to be honest. Not the end of the world. So that's now done. Next on the agenda for next episode will be finish tidying up the engine, sort the TPS sensor and the throttle body issues, and I guess reassemble. We've got a whole ton of shiny parts over there ready to go back in. We've got an engine bay which is now ready to go back in, short of me just sorting out a little, that run or two. But overall, I'm pretty damn happy with it. We need a final polish and whatnot, but it's shiny, it's smooth. I might have put too many metallics in it. It looks a bit more golden, so I'm not sure yet if I've done it right or whether I put too many coats of a second stage. Problem is, I'm an amateur, don't know what I'm doing, and there is no help online about how to paint that paint. All I know is body shops despise it because it's really difficult to match. So, yep, I guessed, and it might have slightly worked, might not have, but I'm happy still anyway. Well, that brings us to the end of another episode. Probably quite a short episode this time. Sorry about that. It's been really cold, and I know I've previously mentioned in previous videos about having some more time to do the work on Capri. Yes and no. So I think I can finally reveal it now. I've just set up my own limited company as a electrical contractor, which will be starting up in a few months' time properly. But for my period of time off of work, I was going to have to catch up on workshop stuff. Seems to have gone down for about 6 weeks, down to 4 weeks, and now I'm going to have about 1 week. And in that week, I've got to get a van, set up a whole van, more tools, and I'm building a full-on office and stores, like 40 foot by 9 foot, 10 foot-ish, down the end of a shed as well. So I'm not sure if you guys want to see the whole building of an office and store block in here on the YouTube. Can if you want. It's all going to be DIY again. But for now, we've achieved a milestone. We've got the Capri engine bay painted, finally. So I'm hoping now we sort of just got past that stage of things just going completely wrong. And we're heading for good things, with any luck. Engine is almost tied up. A few more little bits to do, which we'll be doing tomorrow morning. So you'll see that next week. And it needs to go back in ASAP. I'm keen to get it in ASAP. Obviously, we've got a fair bit to do, putting it back in the bay. I've got all the brakes to put in there. There's a fair bit to do, and I want to do it fairly properly. So, yeah, got a good few episodes yet to come on this Capri, but I'm enjoying it. Hope you guys are enjoying it. I'm hoping I haven't waffled too much in this episode, but I'm trying to get down on it a bit. Problem is, when you film an episode over the course of a little bit, over many days, I keep coming back over and saying what I've done and repeating myself. So, yeah, I'm trying to sort that out a bit. Please bear with me. If you're enjoying the content, then why not subscribe? If you're not already subscribed, like the video if you like it. If you don't like it, please don't dislike it. It doesn't help. Comment, tell me what you think, and with any luck, I'll see you guys again next time. I've been Jordan. Cheers.